cool breeze on your face,
the race of energy,
the feeling of power as you push down on each pedal,
feeling nervous, excited, and sometimes even a little bit hesitant.
These are just some of the things we associate with biking.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Seerat.
And my name is Harjinder, and we are both legally blind.
Now we would like you to imagine the first time you rode your bike. How did you feel?
For us, our first experience on a bike was about 4 months ago with the Buddy Up Tandem Cycling Club program.
So a tandem bike has 2 seats. The front seat is for the pilot and the back seat is for the stokers, and the stokers are pretty much there to provide pedal power. We are both from an organization called Blind Beginnings that supports partially sighted and blind children, youth, and their families to reach their full potential.
The reason that the Tandem Cycling Club exists today is due to last year's Do the Grind Blind Challenge.
Last year in May of 2017, a group of 9 youth trained for 4 months in preparation to climb the Grass Mountain. And the inspiration for both Do the Grind Blind and the Buddy Up Power Up Tandem Cycling Club came from wanting to have more partially sighted and blind people outside and active with their sighted peers in the community.
In October of 2017, 3 youth participated in an event hosted by MEC Outdoor Nation, and they presented on tandem cycling. As a result, we were able to receive a grant of $5,000, which we put forth to partnering up with BC Blind Sports, who provided many of our bikes in creating this program. We felt by creating this program, we could educate people that blind people are able to take part in conventional physical activities with their sighted peers.
Now we would like to share some of our personal stories.
When I first started tandem cycling, I was very, very hesitant and nervous due to it being my first experience on a bike. I even had to check out the parts of the bike. But as I progressed riding, my progress grew, and I think one of the big reasons for that was building relationships with my pilots, knowing who is on the front seat of my bike, just knowing when to stop and start, having the same stopping and starting side. Because one time when I was riding with my pilot, Lisa, we were going up a hill and she forgot to tell me that we were going up a hill. So I was pedaling as hard, leaving it all to her. So yeah, just little things like that. Another story I have is recently when I was biking, we had a story out on CBC radio about our club, and I was biking and someone's like, "Hey, are you from Blind Beginnings?" And I'm like, "Yes." And they're like, "Oh my gosh, like that's so great. We love, what you're doing." And I think that's a perfect example of, our club doing what we wanted to do, setting out to raise awareness. And I think that that's so rewarding for me personally.
My first true biking experience wasn't that long ago. I was 20 years old, whereas for most people, their first time on a bike is around the age of 5 or 6, but that wasn't really the case for me. My mom, I remember, she was so afraid of letting me go alone on a bike because she thought that either I would crash into something or something else would crash into me. So I never really got the chance to experience that as a kid. I remember the first time I sat on a bike with the Tandem Cycling Club. I was very, very excited, but at the same time I was a little nervous, and my nervousness came from not really knowing what to expect of myself, of my pilot, who would have been a stranger at the time. But we really learned to develop a relationship of trust and trust each other and really have that bond. So all in all, it was a very, very interesting and exciting experience. In particular, this one time when we were riding to an ice cream place, and we had a reporter come out from CBC to do a small segment on the Tandem Biking Club, and of course, I mean, that was the day for things to go wrong. Now, my pilot Jessica and I, we experienced so many mechanical issues. Our bike chain fell off like every literally 2 minutes. Our gears didn't work properly. We just thought we were not going to be able to make it. But a little patience came a long way, and we made it to our end destination. It was about 9 kilometers to the end. And for me, I felt like I got out of one problem and I was on to the next. Now, this gelato place has 238 different flavors to choose from. Can you imagine 238? Now for me, I can't see. So I was not determined to sit there and listen to 238 different flavors. So I thought that, well, I'm just gonna go with the first flavor that I heard. And I really lucked out because the first flavor that I heard, it was actually mango. I love mango, so I kind of lucked out there. Now, while I was devouring my ice cream, I had an epiphany. Now, for those of you who have ridden a bike might be able to relate to this, but because we sort of half rode and half walked our bike to the ice cream place, we weren't really like sitting on the seat for too long. And sometimes when you have been sitting on the seat for too long, you get a really, really sore behind sometimes. Some of you might be able to relate to this. And so from not having to sit on the bike for too long, at least I experienced something that I like to call butt relief, because it's kind of painful. I was not quite happy about that, actually. All in all, I think that once the reporter did a great job of not mentioning all the bad experiences that we had with our bike. And once the interview came out, there were so many people who called us and emailed us who wanted to donate bikes, and I think that was a great step towards exposure and a great step towards growth for not only just us, but for other people as well who wanted to join our club, and that really gave them the opportunity to become a part of something that we're extremely proud of, and for them to be able to experience that as well was extremely rewarding.
So for the future plans of our Tandem Cycling Club, we would like to do what we call a challenge ride, so kind of like what we did with Do the Grand Blind. So we would have youth and people who ride with us sign up, and we would ride to a specific destination, so we would have a goal. So that is where our club is headed, and thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.